Welcome to the Home Stagers and Designers on Fire podcast, where we help you attract more ideal clients, up-level your business, make more money, and still have a smokin' hot life. Hosted by best-selling author, coach, and speaker Marianne Cherico, this podcast focuses on business and mindset strategies that enable you to create a life and business by design. Now, let's get fired up.
Hello there, and welcome to the finale. This is the final podcast episode in my series, The 5 Pillars of a Confident and Profitable Home Stager. If you've been with me through this entire series, I want you to take a breath now, because what you've shown up for over these past 5 episodes is not nothing. You didn't just listen to a podcast. You sat with some hard questions. You looked at your business with new eyes. And if any of this stirred something in you, a little discomfort maybe, or a little excitement, maybe a little more resolve, that's exactly what was supposed to happen. So before we dive in, let me just say this. I see you. I see you out there working so hard, and I'm really happy that you're here. Here's where we've been. We started with confidence, because none of the rest of it works if you don't believe you belong in the room. We talked about clarity, knowing exactly who you serve, what you offer, and why you're the right person for your ideal clients to want to work with. We moved into consistency, how you show up day after day, even when it's quiet, even when you're not sure if what you're doing is working. And in the last episode that we did, we got into profitability. This is a hot topic. The real numbers, the money stories that we tell ourselves, how to get paid for the value that you bring, and what it actually costs to run this business, and why you should be paying you, right? What this business should be paying you. Today's pillar number 5, and in a lot of ways, it's the one that makes all the others matter. Today, we're talking about fulfillment, not just professional fulfillment, though we absolutely will get there. I'm talking about the whole picture, the reason you started this business in the first place, the life you were trying to build when you said yes to staging. Because here's what I've seen happen too many times: a stager builds a successful, and I quote that, successful business, I put in quotes, by every external measure. She's busy, she's booked, clients love her, and she is completely, quietly miserable. She's working weekends. She's promised her family. She's saying yes to clients who drain her. She's doing a business model that made sense when she started, but doesn't fit her life anymore. Maybe she's financially okay, but she's creatively empty. Or maybe she's financially depleted and emotionally exhausted. Depending on where you are in your business, sometimes we lose sight of the fact of the things that are really important. This isn't success. This is just a different kind of stuck. So today we're going to talk about what it actually looks like to build a home staging business that supports your best life. So I want to go back to the beginning with you, not the first job you did necessarily, but to the feeling you had when you first thought, I could do this. I could do this staging business, and I want to do this. What was it? What were you picturing in your mind's eye? For most of the stagers I know, it wasn't just about furniture and floor plans. It was about doing something creative while having freedom and flexibility. Work that felt like an expression of who you are rather than a trade of your hours for a paycheck. Maybe you wanted to be home when your kids got off the bus from school. Maybe you wanted to travel without asking anyone's permission. Maybe you were sick of the 9-to-5 and working hard to make money for someone else. Maybe you just wanted to prove to yourself, and maybe even a few other people, that you could build something on your own terms, something that you were really proud of. That vision was real. And somewhere along the way, things changed. The business started running you instead of the other way around. Things weren't happening fast enough, maybe. Or maybe you just got frustrated because money wasn't coming in the door fast enough or consistently enough. And slowly, the gap between what you were building toward and the life you're actually wanting got wider. Here's what I want to say about that. It's not laziness or lack of discipline. It's what happens when your head's down building something and you forget to lift your head up and ask, is this still the direction I need to be going in or that I want to be going in? Today, we're going to lift our heads up. I want to walk you through what I call a fulfillment audit. And you can do this right now, or you can come back to it with a journal later. Just listen to the replay and hit pause. I want you to sit with each of these questions honestly. So here we go. On your business model, does the way you're currently running your business fit your actual life, your family, your energy, your season of life? Are you doing the type of staging work that you find genuinely energizing, or are you taking everything that comes in because you feel like you have to? If you could redesign your services from scratch, what would you keep and what would you drop tomorrow? As a side note, there's a benefit to nailing down what you specialize in so that your marketing is more compelling and directed to ideal clients who specifically want those services. And knowing who your ideal clients are for your marketing purposes is a little bit different than knowing who they are for fulfillment purposes. So I just want to make that delineation. I think I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later as well. As far as your clients, who drains you? And why do you keep saying yes to them? When you look at your client roster, how many of those relationships genuinely light you up? What does your ideal client feel like to work with? And do you have any of those right now? How do they make you feel? Let's talk about your time. Are you working the hours you want to be working, or are the hours working you? Is there something outside your business, like a relationship, a creative pursuit, your health, a dream, that's been on the back burner because the business keeps taking priority? What would you do with an extra day of the week if you had it? What would you do with that time? Let's talk about money. Is your business paying you in a way that actually funds the life that you want? Are you profitable enough that you have choices? Or are you in a cycle where you can't say no because you can't afford to? And let's talk about how you feel, because this is important. At the end of a good work week, how do you feel? Do you feel energized or depleted? Are you proud of the business you're building? If nothing changes in the next year, will you be okay with that? It's worth it to write these answers down and journal on it. Take your time and muse on them. Now, the last question is the one that I want you to really, really sit with. If nothing changes in the next year, will you be okay with that? Because for a lot of people, the honest answer to this question is the beginning of everything. Let's talk about the business model that nobody asks about. One of the biggest mistakes I see home stagers make is building their business around what's available rather than what's aligned with them. So maybe you took whatever work came in when you were just starting your business, and that's okay. That's how you learn what types of jobs that you like to do, right? And what it's really like experientially. But whatever comes in is not a sustainable business model. And at some point you get to choose. And most stagers don't realize that they have that choice. So let's talk about it, because the staging business model you run has a massive impact on the quality of your life. And not enough people talk about this. So we'll start by talking about occupied staging. Occupied staging gives you more client contact. It's, lower inventory demands and faster turnover, but it often means more handholding, right? More emotional labor and clients who need more reassurance. If you're someone who thrives on relationship and connection, this might be your sweet spot. Some people really they actually like doing occupied staging with the client. And if this is you, I think that's great. If you're someone who prefers to work autonomously and let the work speak for itself, this might quietly exhaust you. Maybe you like to do the jobs by yourself and you don't want other people around, or at least, the home sellers. Vacant staging is more design forward. You get to be more creative. It's more visually satisfying, even though I do believe that occupied staging taps into your creativity in a different way. It's a little bit different. Let's face it, the end result is going to be more in alignment with your design aesthetic. You walk in, you transform a space, and you leave. And you do this alone or with your team, but it requires things like inventory investment or working with a rental company, storage, physical labor, often having a team, a bigger team than perhaps like a bookkeeper and a virtual assistant or something like that. And it demands a different kind of systems infrastructure. Consultations only staging is honestly, it's still my favorite business model. And I have done every kind of staging through the years and design jobs. I've been doing this since 2005. I started with consultations and I'm ending my staging career with that. I love this business model and it can be incredibly profitable per hour when you think of the hours that you put in. It also requires minimal overhead. You're kind of in and you're out, which is definitely attractive, and it offers tremendous schedule flexibility. So if lifestyle's a priority, this one is worth thinking about seriously. And then, of course, there's other offerings like design jobs or consultations for designs, vacation rentals, apartment models, color consults, seasonal decorating, organizing, and more. So what lights you up? The confident, profitable home stager doesn't just stumble into her model, she chooses it. Now, your ideal client is not just any warm body. Let's talk about this because this is where fulfillment lives or dies on a daily basis. When I ask stagers who their ideal client is, I hear a lot of anyone who wants to sell their home or anyone who sees the value in staging. And I understand that answer. I really do. It comes from, though, a scarcity mindset, from the fear if you narrow it down, you'll run out of people. The fact is, it's ironic, but if you niche down your services for marketing purposes and become known for a certain thing, it's not that you're not going to be asked about doing the other things. But anyways, here's what actually happens when you work with everyone. You end up deeply fulfilled by a small percentage of your clients and quietly drained by the others. The ones who trust you, respect your expertise, implement your recommendations, pay on time without negotiating, and refer their friends, they're pure gold. Those are your true, on an emotional level, ideal clients. They make you feel like this is the best job in the world that you do. They make you feel fulfilled. The others are why you sometimes fantasize about going back to that 9 to 5 job. Your ideal clients consist of who you're marketing to. Yes, that's for the strategy of marketing. So you're looking at it a little bit differently because you're going to speak to their needs and what's in it for them when they work with you. It's intel that helps your marketing. So, for instance, my ideal real estate agent clients are smart, savvy, seasoned real estate agents who are competitive and tops in their area. But the ideal real estate agent clients that I love to work with are the ones who I have a great relationship with. I even, I have fun going to lunch with them. We talk about personal stuff. They're just good people. They happily pay my fees. And they believe that staging is a valuable tool. They understand that staging is an investment, not an expense. They respect my time and me, and they're just easy to work with. And here's the thing about ideal clients. They don't just make your work better, they make your life better. Because when your calendar is full of people you genuinely enjoy working with, staging stops feeling like work and starts feeling like a vocation. So the question is, are you doing the marketing, building the positioning, and holding the standards that attract those types of people? Or are you making yourself available to everyone and hoping the right one finds you? This is a clarity question, and it connects directly to pillar number 2, because when you're clear on who you're for and you have the confidence from pillar number 1, you stop trying to be everything to everyone and start becoming someone's absolute favorite. Now, let's talk about protecting the rest of your life. I want to say something that might sound counterintuitive coming from someone who is deeply passionate about helping you build a thriving business. Your business is not your life. Your business is a vehicle for your life. And if the vehicle is consuming all the fuel and there's nothing left for the destination, something needs to change. This looks different for everyone. For some of you, it's about being present with your kids during a season that you won't get back. For others, it's about a creative practice that feeds your soul in ways staging can't quite reach. For some of you, it's your health that you need to protect, the workouts that didn't happen, the sleep that's been ragged, the stress that's been living in your body for longer than you want to admit. For others, it's something bigger, a dream that got quietly shelved when the business got busy, a trip you pushed away to next year, a relationship that's been running on fumes because you're always exhausted and distracted. A business that supports your best life has to have boundaries, not because you're lazy or unmotivated, but because the most sustainable businesses are run by people who are well rested, well nourished, and fully alive outside of work. That person makes better decisions. She attracts better clients, and she has the energy to be creative and generous and bold in her business. The boundary isn't the sacrifice. The boundary is the strategy. Here's what I want you to know about you. You wouldn't be listening. You wouldn't have made it through 5 episodes of this series if you weren't the kind of person who takes this seriously. You care about doing this well. You care about your craft. You care about building something real, something that lasts, something that actually pays you and actually fits your life. And I think that some part of you knows that you're not quite there yet, that there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. Maybe it's confidence. Maybe it's the money piece. Maybe it's that you've been inconsistent in ways that frustrate you. Maybe it's that you're busy but not fulfilled or not as profitable as your effort deserves. That gap is an invitation. Here's the truth. Most of what keeps talented stagers stuck is not information. It's not that they don't know enough about design or staging or even building a business, although I do believe that a lot of stagers need help with that. It's the internal work, the stories, the systems, the structures, and the community of people who are doing this absolutely alongside you, who understand exactly what it's like to be a home stager trying to build something real. And that's what I'm building in the Confident and Profitable Home Stager program. I am so excited about this program. And yes, it isn't launched yet. I'm still working on it, but I am building a wait list. Confidence without clarity is energy without direction. Clarity without confidence is vision without the courage to act. Consistency is how confidence and clarity compound over time, and profitability is what makes all of this sustainable. Fulfillment is the icing on the cake. It's the reason why all of these matter, right? And those are the elements of a profitable and confident home stager. And we're going to be doing a deep, 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 deep dive into all of these things in the program. You don't need to have all of these perfectly dialed in. Nobody does. But you do need to be honest about which ones are working and which ones are quietly holding you back. And then you need to do something about it, because insight without action, it's just a nice feeling, but it doesn't get you where you want to go. So here's my ask, not as a coach, as someone who is genuinely invested in what happens next for you. Don't let this series be a good few weeks of podcast episodes you feel great about and then move on unchanged. I want you to transform what's not working. And that calls for more from you. I've been building this program specifically for stagers who are ready to move from where they are to where they want to go across all 5 of these pillars. The Confident and Profitable Home Stager is a program where you do the real work, but we do it together. The mindset, the business model, the ideal client clarity, the pricing for profitability, the consistency, and yes, big time, the fulfillment piece. Building a business you're actually proud of and that actually supports the life that you want to live is what we all want, right? That's what we all want. Now, again, this program isn't open yet, but the wait list is. And if you've been nodding along to this series of podcast episodes, then that wait list is where you need to be. Waitlist members get first access when the doors open, plus special perks. I'm only opening up to 10 special home stagers, and it will be at a price that it will never be again at. So if you're interested, click the link in the show notes. If you follow me on Instagram at Homestager Coach Marianne, Marianne, there is a link in my bio that you can get on the wait list with. And or you can go to my website, www.coachingbyMarianne.com. And if this series has meant something to you, if it's shifted something even a little, please share it with a stager that you know that might need this kind of help. And thank you for being here for all 5 of these. I don't take it lightly. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now, go build something worth being proud of. And I'll see you on the next episode.
This episode of the Home Stagers and Designers on Fire podcast has ended. Be sure to subscribe for more strategies on how to attract your ideal clients, up-level your business, make more money, and still have a smokin' hot life. And don't forget to review this show so that we can continue to bring you top-notch content. See you on the next episode.